Hey guys, my name is Nate, and in my last video I talked about how I would be switching from Unity, which I've been using for 6 years, to Unreal Engine because of this most recent game that I've been making. And that video low-key blew up, well, relatively blew up. I don't normally get more than like 50 views, so the fact that this one got 10 times that amount was just out of my mind and amazing. So I thank you guys so much for your support. I got a lot of comments and I went through all of them, and there's a few things I need to clarify. A lot of the comments were talking about how switching to Unreal Engine 5 was a bad idea and that it was a heavy workload and that the blueprints would be leaving soon. Now the blueprints part I did not actually realize, so that part is 100% on me. And the part that I guess I did not clarify enough was that I really wanted to switch to Unreal Engine, not only because of the game I was making, but I wanted to learn it in general. I know that I would need to spend my time trying to learn it, so that's why I used the phrase, I guess, switch. I know Unreal Engine is a really big engine and can do a lot of things, and is definitely overkill for a lot of these smaller projects that I would be making. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start creating some AAA style games and creating these beautiful masterpieces and just learning how to use another game engine. Another clarification I wanted to make was about my computer. I had a laptop, pretty old laptop in 2020, and in 2025 I was able to switch to a newer laptop. It was definitely a lot better, but still a laptop. Then in summertime of 2026 I moved to an actual PC. Now it's not the most powerful PC in the world, but it's definitely bulking some. I have a AMD Ryzen 9, which I know isn't really made for gaming, but it was handed down for free, so what can I say? And I have a Radeon RX 5700 XT. Now this PC can't handle ray tracing since I don't have NVIDIA, but it was able to handle Unreal Engine pretty smoothly. I did see a few comments talking about how my computer would not be able to handle Unreal Engine if it couldn't handle Unity. I just wanted to get that cleared up, that I have an actual PC that's working right now. And the last thing I wanted to clarify was about Unity not having the tools to be able to do what I wanted to do. What I meant by that is that I am a game designer and I love making games, but I also have a lot of other things going on. And when it comes to Unity, I feel like they have a lot of opportunities, I guess you could say, a lot of ways you can make some stuff work, but you have to put in a lot of work to be able to get it that way. I found it really hard to find tutorials on the type of stylized grass I wanted to make, but for Unreal Engine, it was just right there out of the box for what it seemed. So I'm definitely sorry if I made it seem like Unity couldn't really do anything. I just meant that I am not an environmental artist, and it's definitely going to be a lot harder for me to make the environment look the way I want it to with all the extra stuff I would have to do. Given that, I definitely decided that I would stick to what you guys are saying and try to create my game in Unity instead. Now, I definitely still want to learn Unreal Engine for some other projects, but I definitely would continue my survival game inside of Unity. And I spent the last 2 weeks experimenting with a lot of the shader graph and the stuff that you can do with it, and that's what I want to show you in this video today. So really, thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for commenting. It really does help, and we're going to get straight into it. Now, reminder, I don't think Unity or Unreal Engine is better than the other. I think that it just depends on, they're different tools. It depends on what you need to do and what you want to get done. So this was the water shader that I came up with. It took quite a while to get it the way I wanted it to look, and there's a few reasons why. When it came to the water, I wanted it all to be, hold on, if I can pull up my reference here. Okay, yes, I wanted it to be kind of like this, as you see here. I wanted it to be pretty realistic, but also stylized. So I wanted the lighting to be more realistic than the actual, I don't really know how to fully explain it, but the lighting to be a little bit more realistic than the actual look of it. Like as you see here, I can't pull it, I wish I had this in a higher quality, but as you see here, this water over here, the way it would fall off and get more foggy, I love that. And same thing over here with the refraction and caustics and all that. It was just, I really wanted to try to recapture that. I couldn't find many tutorials on stylized water that was like that. It was a lot more stylized than this was here, but I will walk through a few of the a few of the tricks that I used to make this water. Now, I'm sorry, we're gonna pause right there because for some reason I decided to go in depth onto how I made this water, and I don't need to do that right now because this is supposed to just be a catch-up video. But if you want to see a tutorial on how I did that, then I'll 100% give it to y'all. For now, I'm gonna just tell y'all some of the basic challenges I went over. When it came to the water, it was more just like the fact that there were not many tutorials connecting everything together. Like there's a tutorial for, if I go into materials, there's a tutorial for the depth, the fog, the absorption, all this, but it was pretty hard to get everything to connect together, and that was the part that really sold it. I am very much so a perfectionist, and I love everything to be perfect, so that was also a hard part for me. I also don't like to do too much excess work. If I can make it a shader and not have to do it manually, then I 100% will. The one thing I was not able to get done was I wanted there to be lines coming from the shoreline out. And I think I did attempt this in one of these shaders. I'm not quite sure. But this was ridiculously hard. And I don't think I ended up... Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I don't think I ended up ever... Okay, yes I did. Here we go. And it's not perfect because as you see here, it kind of looks more like this water is going down than it is coming out. And if I look from above, obviously same thing. Now I know that I'm using depth to be able to figure out how this should look. But this was one of the challenges I came across, and trying to get that to combine with our current water was pretty hard. In the end, I was happy with what I created, and I absolutely love it, 100%. The water shader will probably make it to the final game, and it was pretty fun making actually. I had a lot of late nights, but it was pretty cool and pretty exciting seeing my stuff come together. Now please don't make too much fun of me because I am a back-end developer. I do more of the coding parts. I love art a lot, but don't do it as much, unfortunately, which is actually part of the reason why I wanted to switch over, because Unreal Engine allowed me to be able to just use simple blueprints to be able to make everything in the back end, and then I could just get straight to the designing part. So I am normally a coder and don't really do this as often, so if I seem stupid because I did something the hard way, please let me know down in the comments. I will 100% like to know and see if there's an easier way to do this. But anyways, the next challenge I had to come across was the grass, and I'll show you that in game right now. So as you see here, the grass shader should be, I think, this one. Okay, and this gives us our grass blades, and this was pretty... It wasn't the hardest thing to make, but it definitely frustrated me a few times. The problem is that the type of grass I was trying to make, let me pull it up here, I wanted everything to feel more fluid and feel more like it was connected, right? I didn't want it to feel like individual blades. I wanted to feel like it was just blobs, as you see here, just like in a real stylized art where you don't really paint every individual blade, but instead you paint more the general shape. This is something I would be okay with because I know that it might not be all too possible to be able to do I know it is possible, but for me, I didn't know if I'd be able to do the type of style I wanted it, so I would be okay with something like this. The only problem is that the way my grass turned out, I actually do like it, but I feel like only from certain angles. Now, the way I made I can go over this really quick. The way I made the grass color was pretty simple. Again, I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I took the my grass shader uses a noise map to pick the colors. I also copied the exact same nodes into a terrain shader, so when I zoom out you can see the grass fades away. This is the terrain that's behind it, which would normally be something else, probably a painted, as you see over here. My bad, if I go to, yes, paint texture, you normally paint it. If I try to paint anything, nothing, well, I don't have a texture in here, I'm sorry. But nothing's happening because I don't have any, it's a shader. So even if I did have a texture, nothing would be painted onto it. The grass texture, I don't really like as much because I feel like you can see a lot of the individual blades. I did follow some tutorials, and there are a few things that I know people will probably tell me to do that wouldn't work for me. So my graph is pretty well, I won't say it's the most messy, but I'm not going to change too much here. I don't know why it's not updating. There might be something different, but I might be using a different material for what we see here. But basically, one thing some people suggested was that I made the grass emission so that the blades wouldn't have shadows on each other, which would work. The only problem is that now this might just be my colors. Everything became too blobby, and then you couldn't see the profile from the angle, right? You would have to be a little bit lower. From here, it would look nice. The only problem is from a little bit higher up, it was too blocky. I'm so sorry. I wish I could show you guys. The other problem is that it would disable shadows like this. So that method did not work for me. I also tried a few different models and tried to see if that would work, and that also didn't work for me. I tried baking some textures and putting them in. That was also pretty hard. So I'm definitely still going to try and still see. But if you could leave a comment down below of some ideas of how I can accomplish a more blocky, blobby type of grass like you see up here, I would definitely appreciate it. Something like down here is also nice. So yeah. The other thing is that, again, I am very much so someone who would like to focus on some other areas more than some. Well, okay, so basically, I don't want to spend too much time on the terrain when it comes to building this world. I want to be as automatic as possible. And I know that's probably a bad part on me, because I know that these games, I'm not able to just automate everything. So I do know that I probably am missing a solution, and the solution probably is to work 1,000 times harder. And that I'm not able to just slap a shader onto the terrain and then it works everywhere. So that is definitely something that I will work on and see if I can find. But again, all of your input is well, great. I love to hear it and want to know what y'all think. There's this other grass that I found. It was a tutorial for Blender, so it doesn't look the exact same. I'll put it on the screen right there. Now, this grass I definitely like a little bit more than I liked the other one. It looks a bit different and definitely looks a bit more stylized, as you can see here. The only problem with this one is that, as you see, these blobs of grass right here, which I did not like or want as much. And I feel like a lot of these grass shaders really depend on angle, because if I look from up top, it's pretty hard to blend together than if I do from angle. From this angle, I would love this type of grass from this angle if it was up here. So this shader I converted from Blender into Unity as best as I could, and I do definitely love it. The other hardest part was that this is a world mask. Now this is really weird, but I had to cheat a little bit when it came to this, because as you see here, okay, yeah, there's a world mask to show where the path mask is. My bad, that took a while for me to get out, but it was, I just projected it onto world UVs so that, and it lined up my objects so that the grass wouldn't go onto the individual UVs of the grass blades, which is pretty confusing. But it's basically just that if I tried to use the UVs of the object, this object's, each of the grass blades would have the entire texture on it, instead of the entire texture being spread out among the entire plane. So I know it's not perfect, and I know I'm definitely not the best artist, and I had a lot of help from other people, so I don't want to take any credit. Well, I don't want to take too much credit, but a lot of this was some of my work, and I definitely do like it, and it's definitely a stepping stone. I hope I did clarify a few things, and I hope y'all did like what you see in the direction I'm trying to go in. And please, again, I need some help, so if you could drop a comment down below about some tips, tricks, and stuff I could do to be able to improve what I'm doing. Just explain a few things. I know that there's more people that know a lot more than I do, and I would love to have that knowledge so that I can make the game of my dreams. So that was what I created today. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And again, comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. It really makes me happy. Thank you for 500 views. I love it so much. I hope y'all have a great day. Accomplish all y'all's dreams. See you later.